Hi everybody, Jack here. Just a few quick things before the episode starts. First, we will be taking a short hiatus between this episode and the next one, so you are going to have to wait a little bit longer for episode 8 than normal. Apologies for that, but it's because we have a lot of really cool things coming your way. Speaking of really cool things, if you haven't seen it yet, we have our first Brainrot Presents D&D one-shot up on our YouTube channel. It's a really fun time, and if you have the time, I would highly recommend that you check it out. And last, of course, I just want to thank some of our patrons for giving us money and making everything we do here possible. So thank you to Sabrina Shea, Nicola James, Mnemosyne, Alti, Morgan Patterson, Theo Hendry, Jace Pastris, Ollie Scions, Juno, Jana Loney, Dylan Beauchamp, Aaron Subbo, Iris Newland, Connor Fox, and Adrian Frisbee. Your support means a lot to us. And now on with the episode.
Lucy should be here soon with the scans. Then we can get started with the debrief.
Okay. Yesterday was not...
It would seem I don't have quite the level of control you do. It seems that very few people do. I'm sorry for any complications.
I was just gonna say thanks for, volunteering, I guess. I was acting nervous after the last time with the whole getting trapped in my own mind thing, but it was actually okay. So, thanks. You've got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you. To be clear, it was Lucy's idea to put you through it again at all. I was just doing the best I could to make you as comfortable as possible, I suppose. However, if I had it my way, this wouldn't have happened at all.
Yeah, Hux, you chose to be here, right?
What do you mean?
With everything I heard in your memories yesterday and all this stuff with Lucy, I've just been thinking, what the hell kind of contract did you sign? I'm not saying you don't have it better than me. I mean, I don't even know if I'm trying to empathize, but lately this whole thing is looking a lot less like a job for you and more like a sentence with benefits.
I'm here of my own volition.
I'm not trying to start anything, Hugs. I'm only
They're
saying,
paying me. Are they paying you?
No. Obviously not.
No. I work here. They offered me a job, and I took it. It's not complicated.
Okay.
It's not. It's just a job.
I was agreeing with you.
Maybe it was my only option when I accepted it. I'll give you that. And maybe it was offered as a response to specific circumstances. But I'm still the head neurologist here, and that isn't worth nothing.
You sure are.
I don't have to sit here and be...
Good morning! Ooh, someone should really get around to replacing these doors.
They're new. It's been hard to get replacement parts we don't already have in storage. Maybe that's something you can talk to your employer about. Or one of your employers.
Someone's in a bad mood this morning. Psychic hangover? I got all those scans back. Between things like this and the administrative work, this station must spend half its money on printing costs. Shall we get down to it?
Where do we even start?
I was hoping my neurologist in residence could help us with that.
Your neurologist?
It's a term of endearment, dear. He really is in a foul mood, isn't he?
Couldn't imagine why.
Would you mind if we did this in the afternoon? I have some other things to attend to.
You were in here waiting for me, Doctor.
Kinda thought the storming out in the middle of work was a one-time deal.
He does this often.
Nope.
Oh. So, how have you...
I think I'm gonna go.
Right.
The following are some personal notes on the continuation of project number M1324, on which I am now a consultant, as the existing research has been transferred to the care of Lucy Calvin. I don't think I'm a particularly good host when it comes to people visiting my memory. I'm still a bit scattered from my and Vic's trial. They drew my attention to things I hadn't consciously considered in a long time, and I'm not sure how to proceed. I'm not sure if I should be making these recordings. God knows they're not going to be useful to anyone we end up presenting our findings to. My position here has shifted quite drastically over the last few weeks. To say I feel trapped feels obtuse, seeing as I live in a prison, but something about Dr. Calvin's new position is, to put it mildly, it puts that fact into pretty stark relief. I think Vic Algernon has gotten to my head in more ways than one.
Isn't this a surprise? What brings you out of your office, Doctor?
Lunch.
Really?
Generally, Dr. Cavendish. People have to eat.
I'm all too aware of it. I've been trying to eliminate the need for years now.
Any successes?
Not yet, but I am a very persistent scientist.
Right.
As are you, from what I know of your work on Earth.
I'd really rather not discuss
I kept up with all the headlines. I was a few weeks behind, of course, because I was up here, but I still admired from afar.
Dr. Cavendish, can we please
You wanted results? No matter what it took. Damn the grant boards, damn the hospital. I understand. It's admirable. I was the same way.
Let's change the subject.
Very well. What would you like to talk about then?
Nothing, if possible.
Very well, that's perfectly fine by me.
The contract you signed with Mnemosyne Board. Did you set any kind of end date?
And what happened? Talking about nothing.
I'm just asking.
To answer your question, no, I'm here indefinitely.
When are you planning on leaving?
Why would I ever go back to Earth?
You don't want to go back to your old work? Your home?
What hospital in their right mind is going to hire the woman whose name is synonymous with organ trafficking? And more importantly, what hospital in their right mind is going to allow me to continue the work I've been doing up here?
I don't know.
On Earth, I'd have to choose between being put away for life or trying to conduct my research using methods that the rest of the medical community approves of. Do you know how much harder that would be? I don't think I'd hardly get any results at all. I'd just be stuck spinning my wheels.
Then you're stuck here for the rest of your life. How is that any different from a prison sentence?
I disagree.
You're trapped.
If I'm trapped, then they're keeping me on a leash so long that I can't see what I'm changed to. And I'm enjoying myself immensely. I'm sure I'll see you around, Dr. Huxley. Hope you're getting the results you want.
He's late for a meeting he postponed.
He's probably on his way.
I really do try to assume the best in people, Roger. You know that.
I know.
Everybody has something to bring to the table, you know? But I was told I'd be working with professionals.
Hi, Huxley.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
No worries, darling. I hadn't even noticed. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
If you insist. Now bring me up to speed.
Well, it's here, around the 30-second mark, that we start seeing identical patterns in both hippocampuses. The activity is mostly concentrated on the right sides, which I suppose makes sense given how visual the experience feels. The left side here, however, comes into play a bit more towards the end of the trial when our focus is shifted to auditory memory.
I see.
The EEG readings show basically the same results as the previous trials. Makes Algernon's brainwaves peak pretty drastically at the introduction of the electrical current, but then they settle and slowly sync up with the other subjects. There's a short period of time, we've never recorded more than 10 seconds, where the EEG readings are identical, but both hippocampuses are still operating independently.
And what does that mean?
I'm not quite sure. Most likely other areas of the brain are syncing up first, areas that don't light up quite as brightly on our scans. Interesting.
What is it?
Well, this trial had the shortest time yet for EEG matching, but the longest time for hippocampus activity.
Meaning?
Meaning he was hanging out in the gray matter of your brain longer than he's hung out in anyone else's.
That's not the wording I would have used, but yes.
Do you think that gave him access to more information? Information that another hypothetical subject may have buried?
Perhaps. I'd need to run more tests to confirm which areas of the brain are making contact, and in what order.
This is wonderful! Imagine the work we could do if we could choose what areas to match. Not just memory, but conscious thought. Physical control, even. The possibilities, Aster.
What you are suggesting has much higher risk than what we've been doing. It would require changing the voltage of the current, trying to isolate certain neural pathways. It's much
Well, of course.
We could begin seeing real damage, short and long term. Up until now, we've been working off a base of pre-existing research that includes safety protocols. If we move forward like you're suggesting, we won't have those anymore.
Well, of course, I won't put you under again. Not when you're the only one who can make sense of these readings. I'm sure one of Algernon's fellow prisoners is up to the task.
What? No.
No?
You've made it very clear that my opinion is not going to stand in the way of your weaponizing of this project.
That's not quite it. I appreciate your input, I do. It's just that I have the goals of 2 different corporate entities to consider as well, who have entrusted me with those goals. I'm sure I don't need to explain to you that there are many opinions to consider than just yours, Aster.
I wasn't done. We shouldn't be testing anything on unconsenting people, but weapons? With the possibility of irreversible brain damage? No.
Thank you for being so open with me. Really, any feedback on how I can make this project move along more smoothly is always welcome, but this is simply the best course of action.
I'd let you take my research back to Earth under your name. You can have everything, and the people you'd be testing it on would at least have the choice to opt out.
That's clever! You get exactly what you want, and you get your name off a project you no longer like. What about a counter offer? You pick the new subject. Anyone you want. You can even ask them first if it'll clear your conscience.
Don't do this.
It's our best choice.
I'll go over your head.
You couldn't reach over my head, Aster.
The people in those cells aren't your goddamn pawns.
No, they aren't. Technically, they're the Mnemosyne Corporation's pawns. And I feel like you've forgotten this tiny yet crucial detail. So are you. If Vic and Miss Kroeber are pawns, you're a knight. The only difference is the shape of you, how far you can move on a given turn. You're still moving where we tell you.
That was a very nice metaphor.
Thank you, Roger.
I still have some agency, and I'm going to use all of it.
Agency. Agency. Tell me, what do you think will happen if you overstep too many times?
Mnemosyne will terminate my contract.
And what will happen then?
I assume I'd go back to Earth.
And what's waiting for you there? A trial. A license suspension. A real-life prison sentence with real-life bars on your cage. The rules of the game haven't changed, Aster. You don't know how to play.
Fuck you.
I appreciate the feedback.
Dear diary, what am I doing today?
Vic, do you have a minute? I was hoping we could continue our conversation from this morning.
Sure. Are you okay? You seem kind of like, I don't know, crazed.
I'm fine. I'm getting results, aren't I? The project's going well. I've got a bright future here. I've always got a bright future. It's so bright I can't even see the present, you know?
Yeah, you are a little crazed. why don't you sit down? I meant on a chair or something, but yeah, okay, I'll join you.
I think I made the wrong decision. But that's the thing, isn't it? I don't know which decision was the wrong one that set off the whole chain reaction. I can't isolate anything, and I can't untangle any of the wrong decisions from the right ones. So if I went back and undid something terrible, I'd be undoing something good too.
Did Cavendish give you something?
I'm trapped here. I didn't think I was because they gave me some power and I'm doing what I love. At least I convinced myself I was, but I'm trapped here.
Hold on. Just slow down a minute, okay? Tell me what happened.
It's been building for a while now, I think. Lucy tightening her grip on the project, the circumstances under which I came to Mnemosyne in the first place. I kept thinking I was exercising some level of control, but I don't think I am. I don't know if I ever was.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be telling you any of this. It's out of line. I'm sure it's also breaking some sort of confidentiality agreement.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I can feel too sorry for you. You might not have had some sort of ultimate power here, but you also have so much of it that it took you some real time to realize you were trapped at all. That whole time, you've been using me and Jules.
I know.
I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
No, it's what I need to hear.
And just because I can't feel sorry for you, doesn't mean I don't kind of get it. Honestly, it makes me get you a little bit more. Yeah. It puts a few more of your neuroses into perspective.
I'm not sure how I'm supposed to interpret that.
It's good. You're my friend in this really weird way. I like learning new things about you, I guess.
Oh. Well, thank you.
So, I guess we're all trapped here, huh?
I guess we are.
Could be a hell of a lot worse, though.
How so?
Could be alone, too.
I suppose that's true.
And, all the terrible shit aside, it's not too bad of you from up here either. Even if I get a bit sick of it sometimes.
Thank you, Vic.
For what?
For telling me the truth. For giving me a chance. You didn't have to do that.
You're right. I didn't. Call me an optimist, but I don't think you're as beyond hope as you think, Aster. You just gotta do the work so other people see that too.
You make it sound so direct.
Yeah, it's because it is. The hard part is that you have to keep making the decision to do it.
Hello, all.
This office is tiny. No wonder you spend all your time in the lab.
Now, Jules, we shouldn't be rude about another man's home. I think the decor is lovely.
The decor is a couple of metal chairs and brain scans taped up everywhere.
I won't keep you long. First, Hugo, I have this for you.
Of course, Huxley dear, not a problem. Give me that pen and a few moments in the hall.
Here you are.
Okay, what the hell is going on?
I have something for you as well, Vic. It's unrelated to Hugo's message and the reason I've gathered you here, but I need you to have it.
Hux, this envelope is addressed to you.
I'm aware.
Typically, that means you should open it. I'm not about to get my sentence extended on account of mail fraud.
I've been planning for the better part of a year to destroy it without opening it, but that feels like I'm doing a disservice to the sender. Someone should see its contents even if I can't. I've decided that person can be you. I'm not I'm not saying anything else.
I wish you would. That was some cryptic ass shit.
Yeah, you sound like some kind of wizard right now, which is usually awesome.
And why don't I get a secret message, huh?
Done?
Done.
What's done?
Wonderful. Have a seat.
With pleasure. Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't had a covert meeting since my heist days.
Your heist days?
Don't start.
Thank you all for coming. Hugo has just put all the surveillance for this room on a loop, so we can speak as freely as we need to. If anyone asks, you are here because I'm looking for psychological context around Vic's abilities in the project, and I thought their cellmate and friend were the best sources.
Why are we really here?
I know that you're trying to plan an escape.
Who told you?
Trying? We're succeeding.
I saw some notes under Hugo's bed today.
God damn
The
it.
context doesn't matter. You won't get far. The only way out of this place is with the escape pods, and the only way to use those is with executive clearance. You need an employee ID. You need someone the guards won't assume is involved, and more importantly, you need a way to deal with Lucy Calvin. Otherwise, you'll never make it past your own cell doors.
What are you saying then?
This is my employee ID. I can't make copies, and there's no good way to make it look like an accident if I hand it off to one of you.
So, what? You string us along, let us think you're going to give us the key, and then turn us in last second? Or you let us out, and the second we're gone, you place a high-speed call to Earth? This is so goddamn transparent, and here I thought you were actually getting better and actually coming down from that pedestal of
Maybe
yours.
he's just trying to help, Jules.
Yeah, right.
I was actually hoping to come with you.
What?
What?
This just gets better and better, doesn't it?
I understand if you don't want to take me with you. After everything I've done to you, I know it might not quite feel like freedom if it isn't freedom from me. If you don't want me to come, I'll see what I can do about finding some different connections, another ID.
Can't you just leave on your own?
No, I can't.
Then you're coming with us.
Are you sure?
Listen, you've been a dick, sure, but you need out. We'll get you out.
Yeah, we want you safe. I mean, I do, anyway.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay then, we're breaking out. Tell me what you have so far.
Shouldn't we...
Oh, shit, yeah, we gotta turn that off.
Today's episode was written by Jack Loney. It featured Leland as Victor Algernon, Varis Zima as Aster Huxley, Serina Johnston as Jules Kroeber, Finn Carter as Roger Morris, Noelle Salisbury as Lucy Calvin, E.G. Tariku as Hugo Highsmith, and Artemis Jack Gontscharov as Mildred Cavendish. Our editor is Stoker Leopold, and our music is by Sloan Van Dyke. If you like what we do here and want to follow us on social media, check out more of our shows, or support us on Patreon. All of that information will be linked in the description below. Thanks for listening.